gathered up by 3 or 4 cars, including Seton Brock up the outside. He's going to be shuffled here. Just look at, is it Perkins? Yes, sir. There goes John Bowe. He's in the rough, but he gets out of there. And Dickie Johnson goes up to lead the championship race number 2.
What a terrible start there from John Bowe. Goodness me, he got right over in the dirt. All the loose stuff. That's given Glenn Seton and Alan Jones there in 4th position a huge advantage as they come up the shelf for the first time. Thomas Mazira in 3rd.
Tell you what, Dick Johnson's very lucky too to recover from what was essentially a poor start. He got pushed along and virtually recovered in 2nd gear, but luckily still out there in front now and be happy to capitalize on the lead.
The one guy who wants to capitalise today is going to be Larry Perkins, and Perkins will be looking for a very strong finish here, and the more cars he can get the distance between himself and John Bowe, the better it'll be on the Shell scorecard. They come across the mountain for the first time. Thomas Mazira, who is showing great reliability over the last couple of championship rounds, but the Holden racing team, as we understand just before this race, have been pinged $5,000 for each of their 2 cars over rev limiters yesterday in qualifying.
Infringement of the rev limiter.
Yeah, apparently the 2 Holden racing team cars have regularly been exceeding the 7,500 RPM rev limit set on this class throughout Saturday's practice and qualifying.
You know what they could do? They could actually get Larry to put a good rev limiter in for them.
He'd know how.
They come down the straight, heading towards Caltex Chase and Dickie Johnson. What a day he's enjoying at Mount Panorama Bathurst. He's stretching that lead, and watch him come downhill now as Mark Skaife makes a run on Alan Jones. Here they come. Skaife out of the slipstream, up on the inside of Jones. Takes 1.
Nicely done.
If you thought the camera was a little wavy, there's a westerly howling through here this afternoon, just before the start of this heat. Pretty hard on our cameraman and our 7 team here.
It's blowing an enormous amount of grass and rubbish onto the track too. You can see it blowing all over the place as the cars come through. Seton now, very competitive run here in Heat 2. He's up to 2nd. Thomas Mazira also in a Bridgestone shot car with Seton in 3rd. Then it's Skaife pushing up with Alan Jones and Larry Perkins trying to make that big impression on the lead as they come round for the first time. From a standing start of 2:15.96 for Johnson. That's quick off the grid. Boy, oh boy, aren't they pushing it here.
I tell you, it's looking strong. That's Thomas coming up on the outside here of Glenn Seton to hurry him along a bit. There'll be no conserving in heat number 2.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's proven at Symonds Plains. He understands good race setup. He's got the car set up very well here on hard tyres, like a side-by-side with Alan Jones. Those Glenn Seton, side-by-side out of Repco corner. There's still door handle as they come up toward the cutting. Who's going to get in?
Yeah, Glenn forced him over onto the curb there. That would have lost a few RPM, but he managed to hold off on the shelf and get through the cutting.
Little disappointing for Glenn, who closed up behind John Bowe in the first heat. But now the Holdens are having their say in race number 2. Who looked after their tyres in race 1 could almost dictate the outcome of race 2.
Well, Thomas Mazira, like his teammate Peter Brock, going for a particularly hard tyre compound here, as he did at Symonds Plains, and he came on gangbusters at Symonds. I think he finished 3rd down there behind Brocky and John Bowe, and he's showing that race form and that race set up here in the 2nd heat.
He's got the bit between his teeth, and there's nothing like racing right alongside someone around a circuit like Bathurst. It takes up your overall momentum. It really gets you going.
Just look at all the bits and pieces. A lot of leaves getting blown down, and we'll be watching. You'll almost be able to see them in the radiator inlet. Look, they're blowing along on the aftermath of the... There's Mark Skaife starting to get very close into the draft. And Glenn Seton, they come running down here towards the right-hand peak. Mazira goes through.
Does he go through? Boy.
Oh, Skaife gets very, very close under brakes. The crowd cheering there as he puts the front spoiler of the Winfield car right under the back of Seton's Falcon as they come down to braking for pitch brake once again. Seton's got his ground covered. Mazira opening up a car length or 2 on this pair. So as they come across the start-finish line for the 2nd time, it's Johnson in control from Mazira in 2nd. Glenn Seton, Mark Skaife, Larry Perkins, Alan Jones, Tony Longhurst, Phil Ward up to 8th. And John Bowe still way down the order after that altercation on the first corner.
You can't make any mistakes in this class, Mark. Honestly, the cars are so competitive amongst the top 10 cars. The slightest mistake, anything, and you're gone. And the fact that John Bowe was up there running so strong in second in the first heat, and now we don't even see him in picture, is an indication of just what these cars are doing at the front of the field.
They're not mucking about here either. They're instantly down to the 2-minute 14-second bracket. The fastest man on the track at the moment is Johnny Bowe. He's back in 8th position, but he's just fired off at 14.5, and he'll be on the prowl.
14.7 to Johnson the last time around as he continues to lead it. The battle for second, though, was closed up with Mazera, Glenn Seton and Mark Skaife. And just wait, give it another lap and a half, and the man with the bifocals is going to be sitting there behind him, Larry Perkins.
Yes, there's anybody's position here for a second. I would say all of these fellows have got the flag in their sights.
Skaife's cutting the quickest times of this bunch too. He's in the 14s, low 14s as well, so some more speed coming out of the Winfield Commodore in Heat 2.
Glenn Seton very fast again through the dipper. Here's Larry through the dipper on the Castrol race cam. Little left-hander, fade right here. This is still trickier than it looks. You have to be in a straight line before you can slam on the brakes. Tight left-hander, just missed that tire power wall. It's one wall Dick Johnson will never forget. In qualifying many years ago, wrecked his Falcon, but not today.
Here's Skaife in the draft.
Go Dickie!
Johnson sprinting away at the front. Thomas Mazera holding second position. Glenn Seton with his mirrors full of Mark Skaife's Commodore here. Larry Perkins trying to make an impression. Skaife very, very, very strong under brakes into there. Gee, he closes right on the bumper of Seton's car. But in other parts of the circuit, Seton's quicker, but overall lap times at the moment, Skaife is motoring a bit quicker than Seton at this stage.
Just look at the way that Larry Perkins has been able to pick up the front-running freight train, and Alan Jones is only one spot back behind. So Thomas made the bolt, Dick's got away, and Glenn Seton can't do anything with Mazera. Skaife would love to do something with Seton, and Larry would just love to do it to all of them. There he goes, carrying out Castrol race cams. He heads up Mountain Straight yet again, coming up to Repco.
Building up to in the region of 240, 250 kilometres an hour as they just slam on the brakes with this uphill braking area. Bang, through the gears.
He goes back to third, only fifth up Mountain Straight. They don't have enough distance to get her into sixth, and you saw Larry just go from fifth to third, now up to fourth, up the shell. Just see what he picked up there. He obviously slapped her down. Can't say the direction. I would think would have to be second gear out of the cutting. But lightning changes. No synchro rings in these Hollinger gearboxes, which are made in Melbourne. Great innovative engineer, Peter Hollinger. And every car in this field has got the Hollinger 6-speed gearbox.
Come across Castrol skyline again. Glenn a little closer this time to Thomas Mazera.
Keep in mind, back in the pack, John Bowe still in 8th position, but boy, isn't he motoring. He's just fired off a new lap record of 2:13.61 seconds.
Well, he knows that he's throwing a lot of points away, Mark, and obviously wants to get back onto this freight train, but being such a short number of laps, 15 around here, I doubt whether he can get there.
Throwing up plenty of dust there from Mazera as he clips the outside of the circuit and gives Seton a windscreen full of rocks and grass. Glenn ducks out of the draft again. I wonder if he's having that overheating we mentioned earlier on. He doesn't sit right under the wing of the car in front.
Could be just being cautious, knowing that he can't do it for too long. But that's what the gauges are on the dashboard for. He'll be monitoring that. He'll feel it.
Just locked up on him.
He's feeling the pressure here. Skaife really closing on him as they slow from 280 kilometres an hour in Caltech's chase. Seton just locking a brake on the inside as the car got a little bit unstable. Mazera, meantime, doing a tidy job at the front of this pack as Castrol race cam shows us quite graphically Larry at the back of this quartet. And it's really a repeat of Heat 1. He's trying everything he can to get on Skaife, but the two cars so evenly matched around the full distance.
Watch this for the gap. Now, John Bowe is getting closer to this group. There's Jones, there's Bowe. Just came through. Now, these guys can't do much more about it. They're so even heading up the hill and across the top of the mountain. Bowe had a little more on them yesterday, but slowly and surely he's picking them up. Working lap 4 of 15, the second race, round 3 of the Shell Touring Car Nationals from Mount Panorama.
Bit of a tree lying there on the side of the road. I hope it's only a bit of a branch, and let's hope it doesn't become a tree.
There's a lot of blue smoke belching from the back of Larry Perkins' Castrol Commodore here.
Yes, there is.
He may, sort of see it flying out the back there. Bit of oil going down. See if Larry can survive 15 laps. If it gets much worse, they'll hang the black flag out to him. But he has dropped off the back of Skaife quite noticeably here too.
There's Alan Jones going through, following Larry Perkins behind this group.
And well, Jones will be able to smell a wounded car in front of him. Look at the leaves in Larry's inlet duct. Fortunately, wire screen there. Oh, I think he has got a bit of a problem, Mark.
And wouldn't be surprised to see Jonesy waving his fist after a few laps if he's stuck behind that. That sort of stuff can really clog up your windscreen, Alan.
Well, it does do that, and I know what that's like around here. We heard. Yeah, it could be a diff.
Yeah, Larry's pulling over to the inside, is he?
I would think so. He would know there's something wrong with the car.
If it's a diff, it'll actually overheat and the gears will just start grinding themselves into razor blades. And the car will demonstrably slow down. He's watching his rearview mirror. He's wary of the fact that he might be holding somebody up.
Tell you what, he's not backing off at all.
They've got to catch him.
That shows you the level of driving. There's a guy doing almost 300 kilometers down the straight, looking in his rearview mirror to make sure that he's not really putting himself out for the guy behind.
The really impressive charge here must be John Bowe and Peter Brock behind him. They're both down into the 2-minute 13-second bracket on a serious charge here. They both ran wide on that first corner, and they're trying to make amends with some super quick lap times.
They come through the turn. Just a slight liquid engineering problem here today for Larry.
It could be a small leak which is manifesting itself with a lot of smoke, and Larry will know if the gauges are sitting fine. He's not going to let anybody drive by him.
Well, I'd say it's not slowing him down at all. Alan Jones just sitting in behind Perkins at the moment. Teammate Glenn Seton up in third. Skaife. There's Larry.
Johnson comes out of BP cutting, heading to the top of the mountain again.
Look at that.
Tui's corner. Dickie Johnson leads, opening that gap. Having a great day, and why not? He's in front of Michelle FAI. Falcon Thomas Mazira is second. Glenn Seton third. Mark Skaife is fourth. And Larry Perkins still out there and running in fifth. Don't go away. We'll be back in just a moment.
Well, Larry's kicking up enough smoke that he'll really be bothering John. The air that he's breathing, it will be very intoxicating, and not in the manner that they save me from myself here, Mike.
I was just looking at John Bowe, his record at 2:13.59 for the race. That is sensational time, seeing he missed the kick, and he's been trying to pick this group up. Here he is with headlights ablaze. He's the last one on the daisy chain.
Seton getting very, I won't say vicious, he's getting very, very effective here on the straight.
Give him a hurry up.
Get any closer than that. That's hard to do. We've mentioned this all day long, how hard it is to drive in close company. These guys are showing how it can be done so professionally as well, having a little look.
No tears here,
there to take the lunge.
There goes Skaife up the inside. Give him a little inside run.
And didn't he take advantage? That was very smart running from Skaife there. He saw the opportunity, stuck the wheels up inside, and he's picked up 2 or 3 of them.
There goes Larry.
He's taken Larry through with him as well. So Perkins capitalises on that little kerfuffle. And John Bowe, headlights ablaze on the inside of the track, right side by side with Seton now. And we'll really see if this horsepower deficit is on here between the Shell Ford. Oh, there you go. Pulls out of the draft.
Well, there's one thing obvious today. It's the fact that Glenn Seton is lacking a bit of horsepower this season.
Oh, look at the oil belching out of the back of Perkins' car now. I wonder how long the officials will let him run like that. That's getting
it's getting pretty nasty.
Yeah, it's getting quite a thick cloud here.
I'll take my words back. I didn't think John Bowe could get into this group, but not only did he get into it, he looks like he's going to start taking care of them. Fantastic run up.
Well, Thomas has dropped back off the pace, and it's fairly obvious that he was holding up. Seton couldn't do anything about it. All it needed was that one move from Seton, and he made a lunge at him. He'd better off probably trying to hang Thomas out to dry rather than let him up on the inside. But it has really tightened this race up in the battle for second spot. Dick Johnson's disappeared, but here's the battle for second. Mark Skaife, Larry Perkins, then it's Thomas Mazira, John Bowe, Glenn Seton and Peter Brock.
think it's got to be said too that this track would really test if there was any aerodynamic advantage in the Falcon or the Commodore. And boy, they're pretty evenly matched around here. Big brake lock up from Skaife there.
Actually, between the oil fume and
it's like driving through a bushfire.
From what we're seeing out of Mark doing a bit of locking up, that was quick thinking from Mark Skaife. You could read that a country mile away.
Oh, he capitalised very efficiently on that.
So Skaife up to third position. Perkins went through with him. And John Bowe down the inside of Thomas Bid. They'll go side by side. Oh.
Man, these guys.
Mazira's coming back at him though under brakes. Bowe locks it, runs wide. Seton tries to take advantage. He's more than alongside Bowe. Really lost a lot of speed there. No, I think he just might have got in a bit of a tangle as he sorted himself out. And we take Castrol race cam right up behind Mark Skaife's car. He uses all the ripple strips and then some as Larry follows him through. Perkins in third position. Skaife in second.
Larry's been doing so much bumper bar driving today, he'll be myopic.
So this oil leak, whatever it is not slowing down the rate of progress of Perkins' car at all. He's just fired off the 15.4. He's running with the leading pack very competitively. Behind him there's a whole pack of cars in the 2-minute 17-second bracket. So maybe tyres playing a part here. John Bowe, geez, gobbling them up one by one. He comes right up behind Seton.
Well, there'll be no love lost between these two.
No. It's going to come back for another try.
What you call your rival a girl?
It's a little insulting, isn't it?
Well, it depends if you wear rouge. They come out of BP cutting. And that's actually stirred Glenn on. Thought for a while that Glenn had gone nine-nights, sitting in behind and mesmerised by Mazira. As soon as Bowe showed up, boy, didn't that get Seton on the rev limiter again, if you'll excuse the pun.
Here we go, across the top of the mountain. Just a dab of the brake lights there. Just a comfort touch. They're not really doing anything other than just comforting themselves that their foot's in the right place if they have to use it with that sand trap coming up on the right as quickly as it does.
Thank you, Larry.
Puffing Billy.
Yes, it's not the cigarette car smoking, is it?
So Johnson, Skaife, Perkins. Here's the battle for 4th, 5th and 6th. Mazira, Seton and Bowe. Peter Brock, second of the Holden Racing Team cars, recovering from that first corner off. He's up to 7th position. So Falcons and Commodores very evenly matched at Mount Panorama this afternoon. So evenly matched, in fact, they're finding it very difficult to make an impression on each other. But John Bowe really is cutting some quick laps here.
Larry's got quicker since the oil reservoir went down.
Lightweight model.
Oof.
Here we go. They're just leading his in, trying to make every bit of that road pay. The car's leading. It's a tight.
Look at this. Look at this.
You're going to do it, Glenn.
Oh.
Now you watch Bowe get Glenn here quick. He's got a quicker line. He'll get up on the inside.
He'll cut inside.
2/3 distance. We've got 5 laps to go. And what a clever bit of driving that was. Mazira slowed Seton's corner approach speed so much that Bowe was able to capitalise. And Brock too. So 2 of them go through. Seton's gets shuffled back once to 2 more positions.
I like this racing.
The idiosyncrasies of Peter Brock coming out of position 8, and he'll get more competitive as this race goes on. Thomas Mazira's there, and Glenn's passed more cars and has gone backwards.
Well, we can't compliment them for fudging the rules, but we can compliment them on their choice of tyres and the manner in which they're executing the cars around the track.
Castrol race cam, front spoiler of Larry Perkins' Commodore VR, and as these great shots showed in Heat 1, really tremendous view of a 200km/h ride across the top of Mount Panorama, and it just gives you an idea of just how fine these guys are riding the line between concrete walls. They really
just look at how close those walls are, Mark. It's this is a fabulous angle, and it might not be exactly the driving angle, but it's certainly what the driver is having to feed around between these walls.
Look how close they go there. There wouldn't be 6 inches on the inside of the concrete wall.
Look at Skaife there. You reckon he's touching the wall there. Fabulous. Down on a Conrad. A great thrill for every driver that ever gets on a Conrad. You just look down there. You can see practically to Sydney.
Well, if you can, you're heading in the wrong direction, son. Sorry. Orange, yes.
I got my directions wrong. Okay.
Look at this, and a kick to the right.
7,500 RPM, 280 clicks.
Yes, they choose their diff ratios just to make it peak.
Chase went in, just lost it, and he's back now in the clutches of Glenn Seton.
Oh, he's damaged his rear wing too. I think he might have clipped the wall there. He's managed to keep the car fairly straight, but as you can see, the collapsed rear wing. Oh, gee, he's struggling with his car.
Oh, yeah, that'll affect him up across the top.
That'll show you on our Dunlop.
He'll be able to see that, sorry, mate. And he'll know he's in a bit of trouble.
Boy, race cam showed every split second of that. You could see his eyes open up and the tension in his face as he grappled with that car at the end of Conrod Straight.
Do you think he hit the wall, or did that break before and cause him to spin?
Good point,
at the
Alan.
speed
Good
that
point.
he was going, because it happened so quickly.
Yep.
I can't believe the way we always talk to Dick. He certainly wasn't bothered by us having a little chat, and you saw the look on his face, and it was just what's gone wrong. I think it's broken.
I think you're right.
On the approach to that fast chicane.
How things can change in a race at Mount Panorama. Mark Skaife, the Australian Touring Car champion, and the man who wants a win probably more than anyone else, with the exception of Larry Perkins, now leads this one. Perkins is second, Bowe is third, then it's Mazira, Brock, Seton and Johnson runs in seventh. As they said with Larry
won't give up this one easily, although Mark having got by him is an indication that he wants to continue there. So Yokohama in front for the first time this weekend, followed by the Dunlops on Perkins' car.
Another Dunlop car, John Bowe. Mazira, the first of the Bridgestone cars, ahead of Brock and Seton, also on Bridgestone. Johnson back to 7th now. Alan Jones up to 8th. Tony Longhurst in 9th. But geez, there'll be some serious investigations into that wing, Alan. If that has collapsed on him at 280k, they want to get that situation sorted out pretty quickly. So, Dick Johnson just talking to his pit crew there, and I think he just said it broke.
Dick, we were just talking to you. We felt sorry that we might have put you off, but it looked like the rear wings collapsed on the car.
It certainly has, Michael. And I tell you, it's like a fly swat without it. I can give you the mail order.
Did that just break? Did that just break as you turned into the chase, Dick?
Well, it just shows you what these things do to a motor car, you know. There's not much I can do but cruise around now, because it sort of kind of wants to swivel on the radiator drain plug.
Looked like you had your heart in your mouth for a few split seconds there, mate.
Oh, that's all right. I still don't mind having a chat with you while that's happening.
I thought I'd put the muckers on you once and for all.
Mate, if I feel the pain, I want you to feel it too.
Oh, I did.
Well, we did.
I don't believe this, you know. I don't mind. There's not much I can do about it.
It's a philosophical outlook. You've given us a great ride today.
One of the things I said to myself at the beginning of this year, if you get upset about anything, the only one that gets upset's you, so why bother?
Yes. Well, you're taking the champion approach, mate. That's what you are.
Thanks, Dick.
Oh,
Dickie Johnson still doing a good job, and he's still out there battling on. In the meantime, Mark Skaife has opened this up with 2 laps to go. But it is going to get interesting, because John Bowe is back there in third and closing all over Larry Perkins.
This will be a great fight back from Mark Skaife. He can get maximum points in this second heat. Terrible start to his title defence in 95. A horrific shunt at Eastern Creek in wet testing there. Very lucky boy to escape with the injuries that he had. He's fought his way back to fitness. Had some terrible runs at both, or missed out at Sandown, in fact, because he was so sore. Had a bad run at Simmons Plains, and now he's opening up his title chase points book here today. John Bowe, meanwhile, slides down the inside of Larry Perkins.
This is on for young and old now. Bowe has got Skaife in his sights. He's got a lap and a bit to do it in.
Might be hard, but not impossible.
Well, the Holden fans are rejoicing, because Skaife might deliver them a win here to break the Ford monopoly at Mount Panorama today, or this weekend.
Well, it certainly has seemed like a monopoly through practice and qualifying, Mike. The Shell Ford's very dominant here. A lot of people pointing the finger at the fact that Falcons may have had a technical advantage, but the Commodore guys have really addressed it in this second heat.
What is coming through, Mark, is just the zeal of all the professional teams, that if they stick in there and they fight and they don't give up, that anything can unfold. There is no lay-down misères in this championship. It's anybody's championship and anybody's race, anybody's heat. But you've got to be in it to win it.
No doubt Ross Stone, or Jimmy Stone in the Shell camp has been on the blower to John Bowe, telling him about the collapsed wing on the back of Dick's car. John would be pretty wary of that at the moment, I'd say.
What have we got? This is our third round. We've had no repeat winner, no double-up day. Each race has been won by a different driver. Mark Skaife, it'll be great to see for young Mark. He's paid his dues to motorsport, and in that very serious accident in the lead up to the Winfield Triple Challenge at Eastern Creek, he's back. This would be a good feeling for him today. He heads across the top of the mountain where the Holden fans.
And for the team too, Mike, it's been a long, long drought for these guys. They haven't won a race, a touring car race of any kind, since Malala last year. I think it was the 8th round of the Touring Car Championship. So it's been a very, very long time off the podium for Mark Skaife and Jimmy Richards. This is a good return to form for these guys.
John Bowe still chasing hard. He'll wind up with top points overall for the day, John Bowe, but heading out of tyre power turn for the final time, Mark Skaife brings the Winfield Commodore down Conrod Straight. John Bowe still runs in second. Larry Perkins is third. That'll do his points some good, and Mazera is next, followed by Seton Brock. Alan Jones, Tony Longhurst and Dick Johnson is ninth. Trevor Ashby is 10th.
Looking good out in front.
Holden fans are happy too.
Yep. Everyone's had a result here today at Mount Panorama. Mark Skaife comes beneath the Bridgestone Bridge for the final time. John Bowe gives chase, but he's run out of laps. And what appeared to be a Ford domination of this weekend, Holden spoils the party. Mark Skaife wins race 2 of round 3. John Bowe takes second. Larry Perkins comes across the line in third, followed by Thomas Mazera, Glenn Seton, Peter Brock, Alan Jones, Tony Longhurst, Dick Johnson and Trevor Ashby. Let's confirm those for you on the Shell race score. Mark Skaife, the winner of race 2 here today. John Bowe placed in second. Larry Perkins third. Thomas Mazera finished 4th. Glenn Seton was 5th. In 6th place, Peter Brock. 7th, Alan Jones. Tony Longhurst finishes in 8th. Dick Johnson in 9th. And Trevor Ashby 10th. We'll be back at the Mount in just a tick.